Hey guys, Michigan here. Long time no see. It feels really weird to be in front of the camera again. Anyways, today I thought as a kind of apology for not uploading videos for so long, I thought I would show off my N64 collection. So anyways, I'm just going to go through one by one all of my complete in box games and talk about them for a second, maybe talk about them for a little bit, maybe not talk about them at all. We'll just see how it goes. I'm just going to kind of wing this and kind of improv it all. Alright, alphabetically, 1080 snowboarding. This game gets a lot of praise from people who played it. I don't know if it's nostalgia or not. For me, I pick it up and play it a little bit. It doesn't really blow me away like it does some people. 007 GoldenEye, if you guys have watched my top 20 video, you know how I feel about this game. Definitely in my top 3 for the system. One of my favorite games of all time. I played a lot of multiplayer growing up, very good. And the single player holds up better than the multiplayer these days and is also a lot of fun. 007 World is not enough. I play this one from time to time. I like how they have bots in the multiplayer. The single player is solid. I like the second level the best. The level where there's a fire in the building and you have to escape. Aero Gauge, a fun racer. I rented this one growing up, so I made sure I got it for my collection. A good friend of mine and I rented this one weekend and played it a lot and really liked it, and I think we wanted to own it, but I think it was always more of a budget title. Army Men Sarge's Heroes. I remember when I heard the concept of this game, I thought it was going to be really awesome, and honestly, especially going back, not very good. I liked how you were small and the levels were like, you know, you're in a kitchen or whatever. Always thought that idea of being small and everything being giant was cool. But actually, if you go back and play Sarge's Hero 2, it's a much better game. Asteroid 64 Hyper, have not played this. This is just a Nintendo 64 version of Asteroids, I assume. Banjo-Kazooie, this is a game that keeps creeping up on my favorite N64 games list. I play this one all the time. This is the game I keep coming back to and playing, I'd say the most for the N64 lately. It's just such a good game. If you haven't played it, everybody needs to play this game, and then you can come to your own conclusion about it, but it's such a good game, and I have a lot of nostalgia for it just from renting it a couple of times. Banjo-Tooie, the big brother of Banjo-Kazooie, everything's larger, the map sizes were bigger, more moves to learn. I beat this one about a year and a half ago, something like that, but it took me forever, but it was a great game. I mean, so good. I rented this game once growing up, so nostalgia was very, very, very small towards this game, but was so much fun to play through. And also like Kazooie. Well, I'd say if you like Kazooie, play this game. If you don't like Kazooie, you're not going to like this game. But for us normal people, you're going to love this game. Battle Tanks Global Assault. This would be the sequel for Battle Tanks on the N64. This one's good, very fun to play multiplayer. If you're looking for something to play that's not your typical first-party Nintendo 64 game, pick this one up and give it a try. I still need to get the cart for this first one. I have the box and the manual, but I'm showing off all my complete in box games today. I'm not showing off cart only, boxes only. So yeah, just the first one didn't make the cut today. Battlezone, Rise of the Black Dogs. This game is known for one thing, being very expensive complete in box, but not cart only. I have a nice condition copy of this game, and that's about all I can say. I honestly haven't put this one in. I just don't have... I don't know, I just don't have enough time to play everything right now. When I'm collecting, I'm not necessarily collecting to play that day, but this is stuff that I'll always have and I could always go back to. Beale Adventure Racing, one of the best racing games for N64. Very easy to just pick up and play, underrated. Everybody's talking about this one though, so I don't know if I should call it underrated anymore, but definitely give this game a try. It's not for everybody, but I think most of you guys will like it. Blast Core or Blast Corps. I don't know, I always get corrected on this, so I'm not even going to try. This was an early rare game, Rareware for the N64. A lot of people say it's a hidden gem. It's fun. It's not my favorite, but it's fun. Definitely worth playing, and I'm going to eventually beat the whole game. I've put a few hours into it, though, and I had fun playing it. NFL Blitz 2000, NFL Blitz 2001. I think my favorite is the first one, though I'm not sure if I've even played all of them. They're definitely good games, though. I don't think you could really go wrong with any of them. But I like to get the first one complete in box because, well, it's the best one. Body Harvest, have given this one about 10 minutes to try. A lot of people like this. Other people say it's unplayable, so I'll just have to make up my own mind on that. It's a Midway game, but I believe it was developed by what eventually became Rockstar, so there's some GTA elements in here. Bomberman 64, you guys know how I feel about this game. Very fun single player, even more fun multiplayer. The music's also great. Very good music. Bomberman Hero. Now this is a game I really want to go back and play. I don't know why I haven't lately. But this is one that I really like that I don't... I mean, you pretty much... I mean, there's 296 games for N64. You eventually hear every game mentioned. Whether it's a hidden gem, people say it sucks, people say it's great. This is not a game I hear mentioned much in any of those lists. And honestly, I'd say it is a hidden gem. It's a good game that does not get very much recognition. And I remember having a lot of fun playing it at a friend's house when I was younger. And I actually went back and played it maybe 5-6 years ago for a couple of hours, and it was a good game. So I'm not really sure what the deal with this one is. The music's good. Not understanding why people aren't giving this one a little more credit. Bomberman the Second Attack. This game is known for being expensive. Here I have a cartridge, a good condition cartridge, and a pretty bad box with no manual. So this is not like a nice complete in box $200 and some copy like some of them are going for. I just can't find it in myself to spend that much money on N64 games that I saw at half the price sealed when I began collecting. So I don't know much about this game. I know it looks a lot like Bomberman 64 though, so I assume it'll be just as good. And if you like 64, you'll like this one. Carmageddon 64, not a cheap complete in box game. I'd say at least $50 or more. This game's known for being really bad, and honestly I watched Metal Jesus play it, but I haven't played it myself. Castlevania 64, this is another game that's known for being bad. I know I've seen, what's his name, the big famous speedrunner. He likes playing this game, but the people's biggest complaints I think is the camera. And I don't know if the camera was improved, but the whole game was kind of improved and turned into Legacy of Darkness. And Legacy of Darkness also has other elements, and I think it has a longer game or story, or I don't know what the deal is. Honestly, I haven't played either one because I'm not a huge fan of Castlevania, the series. I haven't really, and by that I don't mean it's bad, I just mean I haven't really played many of them. The only game I've beaten is Dracula X for Super Nintendo, which was awesome, so I'm not really sure why I haven't played this, but I'm assuming it's going to be one of these things where the transition from 2D to 3D just wasn't great. Clay Fighter 63 and a third, not to be confused with Sculptor's Cut. This is the much cheaper non-expansion pack version, non-Blockbuster exclusive. I think this one still has risen up in value a lot since I've gotten it because of Sculptor's Cut going up for some reason. I mean, I'm not saying it's super expensive, but it's not super cheap anymore like it used to be. For a system that doesn't have any fighters, Clay Fighter is pretty generic, but interesting, and I like the graphics, and it's definitely worth playing at least once. And I've played it with friends, and I enjoyed it for a little bit. It's not something I'm going to revisit anytime soon, though. Chameleon Twist. Now this is a great game. Super underrated and a hidden gem. Very fun. I played through this one a handful of months ago. I'd say, yeah, probably 5 months ago. I played it and beat it the same weekend. It's short, but who cares? I mean, really, sometimes short games can be a lot of fun, and this one was. It never got dull. It's just a platformer, a very early platformer. Came out right after Mario 64. I think it was probably the second platformer released for the system, and it was just a lot of fun to play. So 100% recommend everybody picks this up. Anybody who doesn't mind a platformer. On the way, I have Chameleon Twist 2 coming right now. I actually wanted to wait to make this video until I got it, but I figured I have nothing to do tonight, and I'd rather just mention that, yes, I have a box copy of Chameleon Twist 2 coming, and when I get that, I'm going to play through it and beat it, hopefully, because, like I said, the first one is awesome, and I think the second one shouldn't disappoint. Next up, we have Command & Conquer. Now, I like StarCraft, and I know this is kind of real-time strategy, and I know how playing StarCraft on 64 went compared to PC. It just was kind of tough to do. I doubt this game is great, because I haven't heard much, but honestly, I don't think I've ever played this one, and it's something I'll have to get around to playing eventually. Just kind of interesting to see any RTSs on the N64 on consoles, especially older ones. It just seems like it's something that should be just PC. A little game called Conker's Bad Fur Day. This game gets a lot of press these days. Whether people say it's underrated because it was late in the lifespan of the 64 and it was Rareware's last game. People say just how crude it is for Nintendo to put it out and to have all the language and everything in it and adult humor. But yeah, this one gets a ton of praise. Now, something interesting about me in this game, I've probably only played it for an hour or two, and people will say, wow, come on, you call yourself a big fan of the system, you haven't played one of the best. Yeah, well, I've been trying to work my way there. As I told you guys, I've beaten Kazooie, Tooie, and those take a long time. I went back and beat DK64. So this is just one I'll knock out eventually. It's really a toss-up between playing this game or Jet Force Gemini next. So we'll see. I'll keep you guys in tune. After I play it, I'm sure I'll give you guys a little review. Cruis'n World, this is an arcade port. Pretty bad graphics. The game is generic, and it's not bad, but it's not great. It's not a game I'm going to put in anytime soon.